If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Hello, and welcome back to the Three Gaffers podcast, season 2, episode 18, with myself, Edward Brookes,
Joe Lowden!
James Francis.
Yeah,
very
Joe's
loud,
finally
big
back
intro.
in the studio. Welcome back, boys. How we doing?
I've missed you,
It's nice to have you back, Joe.
I think.
Yeah, we won't talk about last week. Anyway.
When we're taking the mick out of Newcastle, we kind of need you here. If not, it's kind
Yeah,
of
we
like,
do.
Well, there's
you know what I
nothing.
mean?
Well, it is
I
what
got
it
to
is.
speak last week.
Oh, you did. You actually. It's probably the most we've heard from James.
It was quite nice, actually. It
this
felt
season.
free.
That's a load of. Anyway.
Well, we'll see what happens in this podcast, James.
We'll
but
find out,
Joe is back. It's lovely to have you back on set. The Three Gaffers are all in the studio today. Joe's finally shown his face after getting incredibly humbled and embarrassed against Manchester United.
We should have won that game, but you know what? Missed chances, not taken, and it happens. But you know what? We move on.
It's going great for United.
Are you sure about that?
Well, we will definitely
Are
get
you
on
sure about that?
to the big news that came out today when we recorded about a certain manager getting the sack, but we will get into that later in the video.
certainly will.
We will
A big
indeed.
discussion will be brought up about that. This week we'll talk about all Premier League action from this game week and just a little bit. We'll
might
touch
upon
upon
last game
a
week.
couple of
touch
games
upon certain
from
teams
last
from
game
last week.
Yeah. It's nice to have all three of us in the studio. I really,
know.
it is good, Joe.
I enjoyed just two of us.
Well, yeah, I mean, you actually get to talk or chat for once,
I
don't you,
missed
James?
you. I'm joking.
We've missed you, Joe.
Should
We
get
will.
into the episode?
Well, we will. We also will be talking about our updates on FPL, previous game week, and this week more in depth. But
We won't
go
be
on then,
talking
boys.
about
Let's.
We'll move on to Premier
get
League
going.
action. How about
let's
that?
just get through the games.
Let's move on to Premier League.
He's already
Premier
not
League
letting you
action.
talk, James.
Because on the Saturday, we kicked off with Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. Aston Villa obviously at home. With Aston Villa continuing their strong form as they have a dominant win over Nottingham Forest with Ollie Watkins scoring the first. It just in added time in the first half, and then a certain John McGinn getting a double in the second half. Gibbs White obviously got himself.
No one saw that
little-
coming, did they, with John McGinn? Let's be honest, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He is a veteran of the club, but he's like no one saw him getting a break.
Everyone has that game every now and then.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
With a
Watkins
team-
been going under the radar. Been doing well.
I would like to say with Villa, like I think all three of us have been incredibly surprised with how well they're now doing and the title push. Let's say maybe even like Champions League push they're doing.
there you go, title
But in the first 3 or 4 game weeks where they weren't scoring goals, all three of us were being like, maybe they're in trouble. Let's now look at what confidence can do to a side.
Yep.
And you see Ollie Watkins, their main striker, scoring goals week in, week out, or contributing. You've got Morgan Rogers, in my opinion, my personal favourite player of the season in terms of how he's impacted the league. in
Yeah,
the side that he's
a
in,
player
but-
that should have got a player sent off against you lot. Anyway, a key player being obviously John McGinn. He
had a
obviously
one-off like proper
scored
man of the match
twice.
performance, didn't he?
The second one was a bit more of a keeper was out of position. He flicked.
You know
it
what?
over.
He ran the show and he got him the win.
What
in the
a
day.
surprise when you play a player in position with Unai Emery, because
No, we've been talking about
John
it.
McGinn is literally
yeah.
a centre midfielder, and he started playing him as a centre midfielder.
Yep.
And he scores twice.
The one
But-
thing I will say about
Statement made.
Unai Emery very quickly is that when you see Aston Villa this season, whether they win, draw, or lose, every single game is entertaining. When they played us, when they've played like any of you guys, like when they play, you're glued to the screen because they attack so much, but they leave space in behind. So you know every time you're watching a Villa game on telly,
Well, yeah, since
there is going to be
about
goals.
game week 5, that's pretty much what they've done. Because
Yeah.
I remember because
Could win
obviously
the league.
Because obviously, I was Newcastle were one of the only sides
Very
to
much
play 'em.
underdogs, James, but yeah,
Could win the league.
would be crazy.
Never know. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that.
I've
I
got
like
it.
that. I
I've
like
got
that.
money on it.
But obviously, Aston Villa got unlucky recently. Obviously, considering the fact that they probably should have got something out of the Arsenal game, considering Arsenal should be down 10 men.
Let's
Anyway,
talk about that, Joe. If you believe that they should have got something, obviously the end result was 4-1
the fact that you were 1-0 up,
you were 1-0
up at half time, you should have been down to 10 men at 2-0 and won, and then you went on 4-1. I agree with you. That is a game where if the turning point of any game was meant to happen, it was meant to be when Mick Amorim gripped up Morgan Rogers while he was trying. No, not in that way. Calm down, James. But grips up Morgan Rogers, grabbed his arm and shirt, dragged him to the ground. If that was any time other than the fact that Mick Amorim had a yellow card,
right? Here we go.
And anywhere else on the pitch, it was given as a yellow.
Right, Joe, quickly.
And guess what? That was his second yellow, and it was a red card.
Joe, whilst we're on camera, if it was Newcastle playing at home and that happened, and a player was already on a yellow, is that? I agree, it's a foul. Is it second yellow card?
Yes,
worthy?
it is. And if
I don't believe it is, mate.
A Newcastle got away with it, a player got away with it like you did, I would go.
You go, Core. You got to get away with one.
We got very lucky there.
It's all if buts and maybes in it.
Every time with Joe. Every time with Joe.
I'm sorry, mate, but they can only do what they can do with the game and how it flows, and they won the game for.
I totally agree.
No.
But Joe, if you look at it,
I agree.
Look
on the
at
chances you created. No,
if you look at the second half,
hear me out.
I'll hear you out.
On the chances you created, you deserve to win. That is the truth. On the
Did you
whole
watch
game,
the second half?
I watched the end of the second half after my break at work, but
if you watched the second half, there was only one team in it. And the only reason, in my opinion, we conceded the goal, which Ollie Watkins scored, was because we were 4-0 up. If we were only 1-0 up in that moment, we would have locked in more. And that's why we... No, mate.
That's my opinion. If you were
1-0
up...
You know goals because they were taking more chances because they knew they had them goals to protect them.
Yeah.
But the problem was... my opinion was that Arsenal were clearly the better side in the first half, let alone the whole game.
The second half was a lot more Arsenal.
Of course it was.
Of course.
But genuinely, I think you should have been 2 or 3-0 up in the first half, genuinely off of the chances you missed. And then the red card is where I thought... the non-red card, where I thought it should have been, is that where if you hadn't obviously taken your chances, that Villa were really ready to take their chances and go on with the game.
End of the day.
Let's get into the next game.
That is the truth.
Well said, James.
Thank you.
Well said,
That is the truth, but Arsenal were lucky. Anyway, right, Arsenal. No.
Brighton.
Come
on, mate.
We were talking about Arsenal. Brighton.
He's lost his head, mate.
Faced Burnley at home as Brighton ended their winless streak going at home, and they they were having a great game, and they
better team to do it against.
Well, seemingly, as Jorginho Ruta broke the deadlock in the first half with a lovely strike. It was absolutely beautiful. And then a certain Yassin Ayari secured the win with a second goal in the second half. And the Seagulls' defence were very...
It was easier.
It was an easy game. That's what I'd say. The Seagulls' defence was very rarely put under pressure. It was quite an easy game, unlike a certain team. Newcastle, get better, please. Anyway.
Joe, can I ask you a question quickly whilst we're on the Brighton-Burnley game? For you and for James, did you expect Brighton? In my opinion, they've been a lot more... They've been a little bit more poor than in recent years because they've been so aggressive and attacking. This year, do you feel like they have dropped off a little bit? Because obviously, when you look at where they are in the table and you look at how they've been away from home, I've been a little bit underwhelmed with Brighton personally. Like, what are you guys thinking about Brighton then?
Well, I'd see it as they haven't recruited the players that they've lost. So I'm seeing it as
They do it every year, though, don't they? Sell players for big money. They buy someone from abroad,
they're a feeder club at the end of the day. It's who they are.
But I think they haven't had the success of what they've had with... Joe, I think you'd agree with that the recruitment they've had this year hasn't been on the same level they've had for the last 3 years,
I'd agree
in my opinion, in the Premier League.
But also, I'd also agree that they haven't been able to keep hold of the players that they did bring in for that little period where They've lost João Pedro. They've lost a couple other players, and it's kind of.
All right, what's your opinion on Matoma then? Because he's been very prolific
Well,
in other seasons.
If I was Brighton, and I heard that,
ghost, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, if I was Brighton, I heard that fee that was coming in for him. What was it? 80 million from a Korean. Was it a Japanese club or Korean club?
How much?
They were offering heavy money for him, and Brighton went, "No, we want to keep Matoma."
Really?
I would have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but in that
Take
moment,
obviously,
we've all
when
seen
Matoma
how
finished the season last year, he was unbelievable. So it's kind of one of them ones where it's like, do you take the profit and go,
I'll run with the money and
run with it,
put it into your squad?
Do you keep someone who's gonna give you consistent minutes / Well, unfortunately, Matoma this year has been quite.
Well, Joe, I
injury-prone,
totally agree with literally everything you've just said, but I think all three of us would agree that Ruta has been offensively probably their best player rather than Matoma. I think a lot of people would have.
Danny Welbs, unfortunately.
I think with Danny Welbeck,
he's had some games
with Danny Welbeck, it's a bit of a sticky situation. They see here he has produced the goods throughout the beginning of the season.
They're not consistent with.
He is getting older, and I think they're now trying to. As you've seen in the last couple of game weeks, they've tried to rotate the striker in the squad. Ruta's been consistent. He's the only one
Ruta has been great. Obviously, he left Leeds to go to Brighton, and Leeds have ended up coming up to the Premier League anyway. But the only thing with Welbeck is that their form has actually slightly dipped since dropping him out of the side, which is another statement on the fact that
I do agree. Yeah.
He's a guaranteed minutes and goal threat from any team, and it's kind of.
Well, it's
interesting.
The next game is beautiful for me and one of my best mates, Callie Robb, West Ham, and all the West Ham fans I know. Mm-hmm. What on earth? You get rid of Moyes, who was pushing Europe and winning these European competitions. They then said they wanted to go to the next level, is what their fans wanted. This is proof of when you try and push too much and you push above your kind of like you're
trying to find a new manager that can fill the void that you thought that was missing, and guess what? It's missing even harder because a dominant first half from Wolverhampton Wanderers left West Ham with
finally getting a win.
Zero hope.
Joe, quickly help me out because I know you'll know this. Who is the centre back who is like Wolves, one of the best like defensive players for them, who signed for West Ham?
Max Kilman.
There you go. So a lot of West Ham fans I know online have said he is arguably the worst player to ever wear a West Ham shirt because of his performances in a West Ham shirt. I'm sorry, when he was at Wolves, he was unbelievable and he stood out. Him at West Ham, it's not worked out. I don't know if it's the system, whatever it is, but he cannot deal with that pressure at West Ham at all. And I think a lot of West Ham fans are upset. As you guys have seen online, the stadium they've moved to is bigger than Upton Park. There's zero atmosphere because it's so far away from the
Trust me, I've been to that stadium away from home. Obviously, because I'm a Newcastle fan. I've been there, 4 or 5 times in the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah, thank you.
I wouldn't get it off of your accent, mate.
But I've been there a lot of times since they've moved. And it is, even for away fans, think about how easy it is for away fans to build an atmosphere in most grounds in the Premier League.
They come with a purpose.
So awful to try and build a atmosphere as an away fan in Upton Park, which I think obviously gives them a bonus, but it's also so bad for a West Ham fan to build an atmosphere in.
It's too far away from the pitch. Upton Park, they had a smaller ground where they got on top of you, right? Mm-hmm. And there were games where necessarily their team weren't better than the opposition,
of course,
but they got a result because they had the fans like getting behind them. Now, because they've got a bigger stadium, doesn't necessarily mean better. Their recruitment, as you guys know, over the last couple of years, has been so poor for West Ham, and I do feel bad for like my mates that are West Ham fans, but also it's so funny that there's a chance they'll go down. Like, I really do believe they will. Now Leeds are in form. I believe they will go down.
Yeah, because you're John Arias put him ahead 4 minutes in, and I was like, what's going on? And then when Wang Hee-chan put the penalty away, I was like, oh my god, it's going to be a Wolves win. And then it took And all it took was Mateus Mane's goal from outside the box.
Youngest player in their history to score in the Premier League.
It was an absolute screamer as well. It wasn't a screamer, but it was a
It was a
lovely
good
finish.
wasn't it?
It's a lovely finish. Well, I was thinking, if he played for say Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, whatever you want to say,
mid-table to
mid-table to top table, everyone would be going, "Oh my god, this kid's unbelievable."
He won't get
But
in
the
there.
fact that he's playing for obviously a relegation side, everyone's going, "Oh, he scored an absolute great goal."
boys.
But Wolves clearly
They
took the advantage there.
They've been playing better, in my opinion, even since the Arsenal game when they had a bit of fight, right? And they've done it with Liverpool,
won that game.
and now they've done it with West Ham. Just a quick one for both of you.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're well relegated. They're rock bottom. Do you think they will put up a fight for the rest of the season, or do you think this is a splash in the pan?
They're obviously going down.
Yeah,
That's not
Yeah.
fault.
That's the thing.
I think Rob Edwards has been a good manager.
I think they've been unlucky to get the points they've got.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think they could have won
mate.
some games.
Yeah.
The fact they went to the Emirates and it went to the last minute.
Yeah.
Liverpool, they went to Anfield, and second half they were the better side.
You could have got more from that.
I think Rob Edwards
I'm
has
ridiculous,
done a good
Yeah.
job there. Like no matter what we
Yeah.
think about how bad they've been this season.
They could have got more out of our game.
They've
to be
been
fair.
unlucky, but also I think
yeah.
I think of it as, is there any side that can drop into that bottom three right now where I'm like, will they drop enough points to give Wolves
they're
a
down.
chance? I
They're gone.
don't know.
They're gone.
That's the thing is like,
Them and
Now,
West
I'm
Ham.
not denying that they're gone. I just want to know from you
No,
two.
yeah,
do you
obviously.
think they'll beat the Derby County record? Because now
No.
I do believe I think they'll get more points than Derby.
they will.
And I also think they're going to go down now, and they know they're going down, but they're doing it for pride. They're going to go
But
down
then
with
there's
a
no
little
pressure,
bit of a
because
They
fight.
will,
now
but-
they're going down, so they're
Yeah,
going to play with the heart.
they will, but
I
also
totally
I'd also
agree
put
with that, James,
the thought of the fact that they're probably in January. Obviously we're in the transfer window.
Just opened, yeah.
I think there's a possibility of them losing some of their best players for a Premier League fee
But
instead of
surely,
no. But I'm
If
thinking,
they've let rid of, let Cunha go, who was so important. What's his name?
Who's-
The
who's-
centre back who now plays for West Ham.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like they're not going to do
Who's
the
taking
same
any-
mistake
who's
again.
taking any of
mate.
their players where they are?
I would tell
Who
you.
in the Premier
No,
League
I'll
would
tell you right
snap
now.
up any of
League,
them?
I'll
one
tell you
of
right
their
now.
players.
There's only 2 or 3 of them, and I'd take
No one.
João Gomez as their midfielder.
Where would he go though, mate? Is what I'm trying to ask you.
I'd take him at Newcastle as a 6.
He's
He's
a
unbelievable.
United
He's
target.
very good.
Is he?
But,
João Gomez is very good.
but no one's looking at that team and going,
Andre,
I
some of
need
that
that
players.
player.
Yeah.
is there
They're
is
not
there
go-
is
yeah.
there centre midfield, and I'd also say Strand Larson, because other than this season, obviously, last season he scored
What a player,
was it,
mate.
15
What
goals.
a player. Yeah.
Any mid-table side right now will go, all right, how much is he? Give me a price. And then if they give him anywhere between 30 and 40 million, these mid-table sides will go,
Did you
yeah,
hear about
okay,
New-
brilliant,
Joe,
give it to me.
your own club. You were in for him. You offered big money.
We offered
And they said-
50
and
million.
The only reason they turned down that money for you guys was because they let Cunha go. But I
Exactly.
feel bad for him because now his confidence has gone. The team's confidence gone. I think, bless him.
It's-
I think his career is going to take a little bit of a dip, but he's so young he could bring it back again.
He's 22 years old, I think, or 21, 22 years old. I think, you know what? Look, if he came to Newcastle, God knows what would have happened. We probably wouldn't have signed
I don't
him.
think you'd
Armada, and
complain
I think
if you signed him now. I don't think you would because I think he would still get goals in your system. But
right now, I don't think we could deal with having 4 strikers on the books. That's the only
I
thing.
agree. Well,
Whereas-
moving on to the next game because we have dwelled on that one. I apologise.
Arsenal showed a championship grit to overcome.
Joe, can you actually show some enthusiasm, mate? Or do you
Arsenal showed championship grit to overcome resilient Bournemouth
That's it, mate.
after falling behind early.
Yeah.
Gabriel had a little bit of a howler there.
the Gunners
But-
relied on the leadership of Declan Rice,
Go on, James.
whose 2 goals
Who is
proved the
the
difference
second
in a
best
high
midfielder in
octane
the Premier
affair.
League?
A high octane affair at the Vitality
He
Stadium.
was the second best Premier League midfielder in
obviously-
the
Did
league.
you, did you boys watch the full 90 of
Obviously,
that game?
it looked bad.
I watched most of it.
First 10
I'm
minutes, it
genuinely
looked
not
bad. I kept catching it because I was working. But when I saw that Gabriel had messed up,
The first 10
Yeah.
minutes, I was watching it going, now we're going back to the old ways again.
Yeah.
Away from home, it's a small little ground, and they got behind the players, and they got that lucky first goal. And I was thinking, oh no, we're resorting back to the old ways. But we did manage to pull it back. And
he shows fight though. After messing up, he goes and scores.
Yeah.
That's what the top players do. They go and rectify the mistakes.
I mean, as a centre-back as well, the goals he's contributed this year, it is kind of unbelievable. Because defensively, I've said to both of you, I believe Saliba is clear of Gabriel as a defender. In terms of what he contributes offensively with corners and like what he does to help the team out, I think Gabriel, obviously... He adds more to his game, but I think Saliba, as a defender, winning possession of the ball back, I think Saliba's so clear of Gabriel. But I think Gabriel, he's been so clutch
on the goal threat front. He is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, whenever he gets a chance in the box, he does not miss, which is obviously a positive for Arsenal, but also a positive FPL wise. Some would know.
Well, boys, before we move on to the next game, I did want to say with the Arsenal-Bournemouth game, I said to my brother, I went, if we manage to win against Villa, which is third in the league, we win away at Bournemouth, and if we win against Liverpool, I believe we're setting ourselves up for success.
Well, how about you tell us about the Liverpool game? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen against Liverpool?
Against Liverpool. I think the form we're in compared to the form they're in, I think that something is getting better under Slot in Liverpool's side, but I also think there is such a big weakness for once in that Liverpool team that we haven't seen last season. And I believe that because... So if it was at Anfield...
Where do you think the weakness is truly lying in Liverpool?
I can't believe I'm saying this because last year I was the opposite with Van Dijk, but I think their defence is letting in goals like way too regularly. Konate and Van Dijk are not in sync.
No, do you know what it is?
I do believe we will, even if it's scraping it by one goal, I believe we will get 3 points from that. And if we do, what I said to my brother and my mates that are Arsenal fans, I said if we got 9 points from the next 3 games, which if we now beat Liverpool, we will. I believe we've set ourselves up for winning the title. I don't believe we're going to win it. That sounds like
a very certain conversation I had with my brother, but we'll get onto that later.
But we'll obviously get on to the City game later.
The only thing I would say
what I will say is that our team, I believe, when you're going for a title, you need the foundations, and you either need to every single game score multiple goals, and you look like you're an attacking threat, or you need a defensive line that are going to look solid, that can get you through games, right? Yeah. And the only thing I'm saying about City, the only reason I've actually got a bit of optimism this year is in the last 3 games in particular, they look like a side that if Haaland isn't on it, they only get 1 goal per game. Whereas... And that you guys know throughout the beginning of the season, they do let in more goals this year than previous years.
They're a bit more defensively.
Whereas with Arsenal, I think away from home, there's
a lot of games to play.
We do let in the goals away from home, but when we're at home at the Emirates, I know I'm more secure in the back line. I'm like, we go into it, you go, right, we aim for a clean sheet. And then we aim for the goals. Because then when you do that, you're going to win a game.
I do want to horrendously talk about, unfortunately, as I was giving him a lot of crap at the beginning of the season, which was Martin Odegaard. He is seemingly starting to come back to form as he's got... Is it 2
We all kind of said negative stuff about him,
4, however many assists he's got.
Don't believe in the guy.
He's come back. And it seems that the number 10 has started to be taken over again by Martin. No. This isn't.
No, I want to hear out, Joe.
This isn't an issue. I'm seeing it as you've had Eze, you've had X, Y, and Z, whoever you've had in on the 10, and Odegaard's just started to come back, seemingly a bit more settled. Obviously, he's had his family and he's had his newborn baby, a bit more settled. Habibi. But he seems. He seems a bit.
I do have
he's
to
a bit
say
more
that
settled.
Even as an
he's a bit more controlled and a bit more attacking.
When we've talked about Odegaard, I've said that I think we've moved past him. We've all kind of said our negatives about him. But no matter what you think about him, like I know James, you don't believe he's the guy to win us like a Premier League title,
don't rate
right?
him.
But I think no matter what, when you look at
starting
since
to
he's
show his
come
quality
back,
again.
even if you don't rate him that highly, the last 2-3 games in a row, he's come back in the team and he's gone, right, I've got a responsibility here where I need to create goals. And what has he done every single game? He's either scored or created goals every game in the last 3 or 4 games in a row now.
Well, look, talking about the. Let's go back to
The
Bournemouth.
game was all about Rice.
The game
mate.
was
I'm sorry.
Evan Nilsson scoring
It was all about
after a
Rice.
Gabriel mistake. Gabriel reconciling the fact that he had made a mistake and got a goal back, and then a double from Declan Rice, as well as a absolute finish from Krupi Jr. That boy needs to get himself into a
Krupi Jr., mate,
better
if you
side.
put him, if he starts as a striker in a Premier League side, I'm telling you, he will score goals. I don't understand how Bournemouth do not start the guy. Like, when you've got a talent that young, that good at putting the ball in the back of the net in the final third, even if you've got a Vanelson, who is a very decent striker for Bournemouth's level, right? You'd change your system and play both of them up front because, in my opinion, Krupi Jr., he is so talented, mate.
You are.
Don't talk about changing of system because it hurts me.
But, yeah, I think there's that. And before we move on to the next game, the last thing we'll obviously talk about, Declan Rice. James, you briefly talked about it,
second best Premier League midfielder
like,
in the world.
How important do you think he was to that game, contributing 2 goals?
He was obviously the reason you won it, I believe. I think he runs it. I
Stepped up
think
to
you're
the
talking
plate.
about Odegaard, like, stepping up. Rice, possibly one of the best midfielders in the league. Definitely.
Second
one of
In
best.
the world,
Second
mate.
best.
Yeah,
Second
currently.
Possibly in the world, definitely
This
in the league.
season, yeah.
I'll give
Totally.
it that.
in the league, he's
I think-
second. In
I
the
think
world,
the form
he's
he's
maybe
shown
like
and,
fifth,
and the
fourth,
games
first,
he's
mate?
had since
We'll talk about him later.
I've had my eye on him since, especially since that Real Madrid game and me and you watched it.
When we both watched it last season.
I think the improvement he's made is unbelievable.
I can't believe how much he actually has contributed to Arsenal. When we first signed him, we paid all that money. There's a mad stat I've seen when any team has paid over 100 million for a player ever, like literally, not just in the Prem but in Europe. There's a rare amount that have actually like played very well after the big price tag.
That's the pressure, though,
There's
isn't it?
so many that have flopped under the pressure of the
Yeah.
big price tag.
How does it feel, Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Spending it on 2 players who have scored nothing. He's done absolutely nothing.
He's done a couple
Isak
goals.
is an absolute joke. He needed Jacob Murphy to score goals. Let's get that straight. And then Florian Wirtz. Nah.
He's been all right.
He's been all right.
But with Rice,
I just had to get that out there.
James,
Sorry,
when
boys.
you and me watched Real Madrid Arsenal last season, we saw what he contributed to the team. I think this season, what we're seeing more with Declan Rice is that he's playing how he played in the big games last year, but he's doing it consistently throughout the Prem. You even have to just look at we'll get onto it later, but FPL, like the points he gets consistently is what he's added to Arsenal.
Can we stop talking about Declan Rice?
I think he's settling in as like being more of a world class player.
stop
And now
I do
that is in his
agree, yeah.
future, getting that label.
I think we should
And
stop
it's
talking
not
about
there
Declan
right
Rice.
now because he's an English player, and
We should
us
be praising
English are
him.
very.
Can we please
The
stop
way we
talking?
speak
Can
about
we,
our own
can we
players,
stop?
we are
Can,
very
can we stop talking about Declan Rice and FPL, please?
But they're very good.
'Cause-
Why? Because did someone sell him?
No,
I think someone sold him. That's why.
We'll get on to
Someone
that.
did.
We'll get to that.
Anyway,
Next
All right.
game. This is a beauty. Go on.
Leeds,
Talking.
Let James take this one away.
Talking about a fierce Pennines derby that ended level.
level.
Leeds took the
We got
lead
Bolton.
through Brendan Aronson during a period of dominance, but United responded instantly with Matthias Cunha. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, mate.
Unbelievable that he got one back
Shush.
against Leeds.
Both teams pushed for a winner in the frantic 10 minutes. I am so disappointed in this result. And especially, I'll get onto it a little bit more.
Why are you disappointed in this one and last week's one, James?
I think, especially, obviously, I think everyone knows cat's out of the bag. He's gone.
The big,
Amorim.
massive news that
Yeah.
came out today when we filmed. Obviously, by the time it comes out, it's going to be a couple of days old,
Yeah.
but let's talk about it. It's fresh. It's brand new.
Amorim is gone. I think I turned my back on him, and I think a lot of United fans turned their backs on him.
Wolves
after the Wolves game.
Yeah, I remember you.
I
saying
think
in
I
the
was
group-
creeping. I think I was creeping up because you know me. I had Amorim's back for a lot of the season. I wanted him to succeed. I'm still disappointed he didn't because I like the guy.
I love the guy.
But
I love him.
it's a struggle. I don't think
At the point where Wolves played you, they were on 2 points.
But-
they got a third off you.
But it's just disappointing. The 2 games we should have got 6 points from them games. I mean, Leeds is a bit different because it's Leeds United. Like
I think Wolves was
The Wolves were
Wolves
the one
was
where
a shock and disappointing.
Wolves
whereas
was
Leeds, you knew
Wolves
going
was the
into
final
it, they were
straw
in form.
for the fans,
Yeah.
and I think the moment we drew against Leeds, that's when hierarchy just was like.
Well then, James, I've got a really good question
And
for
then
you.
he had that interview. Is
Yeah.
that what you're gonna ask?
Well, I was going to get onto that, but that was part of what
He
I was
obviously
gonna
did the
ask, yeah.
interview. He kind of dragged the ownership a little bit and promises that were made, and saying that he was going to leave at the end of his.
Well, one of my questions was going to be, obviously, we all knew that Amorim had a system, and he wanted to bring something very different to United. I can't remember the last time they played a back 3 before Amorim, right?
Not really.
Do you think the board,
A little bit
even
in some
though
games.
he had time
Well,
and where he finished in the league last year, everything like that, do you think he got given the players that he wanted? Do you think he got given the time to create a whole new system? And do you also think, you know, when you look at like recruitment in managers, when they see things as a project and they're doing this whole rebuild thing, do you think Manchester United, arguably one of the biggest clubs in the entire world, do you think that's the right club to do it? Do you think that's the right club to do a whole new formation change, rebuild, all of it? What's your opinion?
When
on
United
all
are
of it,
known
James?
to be quite counter-attacking, quite attacking with 3 forwards or wingers, we're known for that kind of attacking threat, and I think he was brought in to change the culture of the club.
Yep.
Which he was brought in, and that shows bad planning from the owners, because he was brought in to change the culture. He started to change the culture, and what happened is they weren't happy with what he was doing. And at the end of the day, if you're not getting the results, it's not going to happen. We were 6th, and I think it's very realistic to realise where United are at right now, to realise that is around the area that we deserve to be, the team at least. We should not be in that. We should be fighting for top 4. We should be fighting for the league. That is what Manchester is all about. And you might laugh, mate, because you've never had success like we have. But it is what United should have. It is what our club deserves. It's what we should be all about. But at the end of the day, it is. But at the end of the day,
no team deserves
when you've got a
to
manager
win
coming in,
unless you have a good enough team.
But when you've got a manager coming in,
get your hand out my
when
face.
you've got a
I think
manager,
this is a very good.
Embarrassing.
No, I want to
because
hear
what he
from
wants to
both.
do, he wants to shut me up again. That's
No,
what he
the
wants
truth
to do.
is
James,
that
I
I want to go against your point,
Alright,
which is that
Let him talk, then go against this point.
no, because
James,
he's
what
talked.
will
He's
you
talked
say?
for about
Shut
2
me up
minutes.
Let him say one more thing.
Go on,
Maybe it's
carry
my
on,
club.
carry on then,
Si,
carry on,
you've
carry
told
on
me
then,
I'm a little
carry on
speech, I was saying.
waffling. Carry on.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he was brought in to change the culture of the club, a culture that has been around for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it wasn't really working, but we were still winning trophies in our banter era. And I would argue that our transfer window we had, our last one, was actually quite a successful one.
Mm-hmm.
And in a long, long time. But his management has got to be criticised because we need to be performing. You've got the Grimsby game back then. That was the biggest red flag. That's when a lot of fans were worried.
Mental. And the new boy that they brought in Buemo missing the pen. Stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we all know Man United want to get back to them glory days. But is it fair to the fans, the football club, and the stature of how big they are, that you have to be in a rebuild period with a manager?
Again.
Or do you need to bring in a new, like,
I feel
someone that's going to hit the ground running?
I'm telling you right now, with that team, fully fit, players back from international, a top-class manager gets results.
I agree.
He fights for top 4. He gets top 6 guaranteed. A world-class manager with that team, and they're not that strong, but a world-class manager with United's backing gets that area.
Name the manager.
But there isn't anyone available right now.
No,
obviously, Maresca's obviously left, right? And
Right.
there's a lot of talk about Maresca. There's actually talk about Ollie coming back for interim basis.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
then, James, who would you want just before we quickly move on? Then
I also want to say a little point, but carry on, yeah, go on.
It's hard 'cause I don't actually know what I want. I never expected him to leave. I expected him to have the backing no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I did see the waiver when the draws started happening, and his interview. I knew. I watched the night before he got sacked, and I was like, he's done.
I feel like you're forever chasing
what you used to
the
be.
success that you used to be.
Yeah, I totally
Whereas I
do
feel
agree with
like
that.
what you need to do is have a full reset of, okay, we are now not a title-winning side every year. Oh, sorry, not a title side winning every year, and you need to really think about where you're going to progress from where you are.
Which is what I
With
said.
the
Building blocks kind
But
of thing.
Which is what
the
I said. The
problem is that
realistic
you're not
vision is
giving
a top
any-
6 to 8 side.
Yeah, but the problem
That
is
is what we are.
you're not giving any manager enough time to generate
Exactly.
that space.
Exactly.
Whereas if you'd given Amorim maybe another year where he got, say, a right wing back that he was craving for,
There is no
you got
way
him
that ownership justifies them 2 draws. There is no way.
I agree.
obviously, but
And
there's
I
no
think
way.
on that note, I think we move on to the next game, because if not, we could be here for another 2 hours, because there's such a big discussion around Manchester United.
Rúben Amorim, he'll never bring the glory days again. You won't hear from the Stratford end. Your club is going down. Rúben Amorim.
All right. Wait until Fletcher plays his boys and we'll be right
Well,
back.
what happened in the next game then, Joe?
Well, we went to the Hill Dickinson Stadium as Igor Thiago produced an absolute masterclass. Unbelievable. As Thiago made it a hat trick at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. But yeah, so it went.
That was some performance, that.
He went 1-0 up. Brentford went 1-0 up in 11 minutes.
As a
As
Brentford fan, do you not remember?
Yeah.
anyway, Igor Thiago
Well, you know.
went 1-0 up, and then Nathan Collins also made it 2 within 50 minutes, with Vitaly Janelt assisting both, and then it went 3-0 with Thiago getting an assist from Keane Lewis Potter.
He's played well.
But Beto got one back from a Jack Grealish assist, and everyone was going, "Oh, okay."
Grealish doing something.
Everyone,
Great.
exactly.
He's back, mate.
But everyone was going, "Oh, you know what? Everton might get back into it," and there was very little fight as Igor Thiago in the 88th minute made it 4-1, and Nathan Collins, after getting himself a goal, he got himself an assist. Very nice. But a certain striker that I think is absolute dog water got himself on the score sheet to make it 4-2 as Tieno Barry got an assist from Jack Grealish. But it was clear that it was already done at 3-1,
it's a bit
3-1, 4-1, whatever
It
score.
was a very entertaining game.
Yeah, it was
Thiago.
A
entertaining.
lot
yeah.
of goals.
A lot of
And
goals.
I think we
Thiago
all
hat
know-
trick is unbelievable.
I think we all know he
Crazy.
was the main player in
Yeah.
Some people had them in there.
Of course, Jack Grealish.
that. Every time he steps out on the pitch.
Do you know what? Double assist.
What a
for
game!
Jack
What a
Grealish.
game!
I
Though.
wouldn't
One
have
of
been a
the
shout.
best games of the game week.
One of the best games
Six
of
goals,
the
it
weekend.
has to be up there, yeah.
It has to be up there, but it's not maybe
Definitely the top
quite
two.
the top. But
Moving on to
let's move
two-
on to a beautiful
Here we
team.
go.
Beautiful team.
Two small clubs. What, you tried to shut me up when I was talking about United.
Two very out of form clubs.
Are you
James.
done? You done with your little bit?
What? You literally tried to shut me up.
Shut up.
Love you.
Anyway, right. Newcastle United, come on. 2-0, Crystal Palace. Newcastle wore down a stubborn Palace defence, which, you know what? They were a lot better, but we still got the best of them. As Bruno G, the best midfielder in the league, put us 1-0 up with a beautiful little header to break the deadlock. And then, again, one of the best centre-backs in the league as well, Malik Chow, made sure that we scored again shortly after to make sure that we won. Bruno G with a goal with Lewis Miley assist. A corner that came also in from Lewis Miley, got dotted about, and then Malik Chow put it in the back of the net. Lewis Miley is the best young English player right now, and it's unbelievable to say that Newcastle have got him on his books. And none of you can argue about that. The first two parts, I reckon you're going to argue with, but Lewis Miley has been absolutely unbelievable. He has been a revelation for us this year.
It's just nice to see you happy, mate.
Considering,
Yeah, it's nice to see you finally win a game, mate.
no, considering he had a good start, and then he got injured, and he got taken out of the side. But Lewis Miley, what a lad, good man, 19 years old, and there's only the future ahead of him. Anyway, any of you want to say anything?
I'll say nothing about the game, mate.
It's
Exactly,
just
'cause-
nice to see you happy, and I'm happy for you.
2 wins on the trot. Yeah.
You were pretty toxic with me when I was talking about my club, but
What did I say?
I'm just sending you love.
What did I say was so
and
toxic?
I didn't want to interrupt you, so I'll let you speak about
What
your
was
club.
so toxic?
It's fine, mate. But
What
we'll
was
move on to
toxic
the next
about
game.
it? Exactly, you ain't because
Okay,
I wasn't
Spurs,
toxic.
1-1 with
It's all right.
Sunderland.
No, let him.
Spurs
about
were
the
punished.
team of the land.
I wasn't toxic with him because he's getting all upset because his team's absolute dog water. But it's okay.
It's acceptance,
It's
mate.
okay.
I'm upset because you
okay.
interrupted me.
It's okay.
Spurs
It's okay.
1-1 with Sunderland.
okay.
Spurs were
No,
punished.
it's okay.
Punished for failing to
It's
kill the
okay,
game
CR.
off.
Joe, stop.
Ben
saying
Davis
it's okay.
gave the lead, but they struggled to break down Sunderland's low
Bless
block
him, he's all
thereafter.
upset. Oh.
Brian Brobber snatched a late equaliser for the visitors
Robbie,
to
come on.
earn a valuable
Up the
point.
Sunderland, they're playing so well this season. Even to
Playing
get a
so
point
well.
away.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, what was that?
Unbelievable.
What did you say? Up the Sunderland.
Up the Sunderland.
What a team.
Yeah, but do
What
that
a-
accent again. No, one take. Do that accent again.
He was just speaking.
No, you didn't. You did it in a Scouse accent. Get a grip of yourself.
He was speaking.
He
I
said,
just set up the Sunderland.
"Up the Sunderland."
What a team Sunderland is. What a keeper they have.
Oh, Nick Roos, mate. He kept
Yeah.
him in that game, didn't he? Unbelievable
did.
performance again.
He did miraculously.
That guy, what a recruitment, mate.
Yeah.
For a goalkeeper coming up from the Prem, signing him, brilliant. They know what
Unbelievable.
they're doing. They know what they're doing.
He
with
was.
it.
He is a great signing. To be fair, I
Bit of
can't
a rough
argue
one
about
for Frank, but Sunderland, unbelievable.
Again.
Moving on.
Now,
Possibly the game of
in
the night.
My
the
opinion, the game of the
well,
weekend.
I think we all agree here. The game of the weekend, for the fact that it was dramatic and also probably made the best goal.
I'm sorry
of
to interrupt
the
you, Joe,
weekend.
but James, can we just talk about that Reed goal?
Oh, can we just talk about
Can we
Reed's
just
goal?
talk about that
96th minute screamer. Can we just talk about top corner? Oh my God. Absolutely blew the roof off it.
Go on then, Joe.
Unbelievable.
Take it away, mate.
Take it away, mate.
Well, you fucking ruined it, haven't you?
Again.
Again,
I
man.
don't
All
care.
the beeps with this guy.
Again.
I don't care. You've ruined it.
Yeah, go on,
Anyway, in the
Let's
game of
talk
the
about
weekend,
that.
Harrison Reed scores a 96th minute screamer to save Fulham as Liverpool scored a 94th minute goal that they thought was the winner as Harry Wilson put them 1-0 up off a goal that was originally called offside, but
Oh, I don't even want to talk
it
about the
was
rest of it.
so close.
I don't want to talk about the rest of
But-
the game.
Can we just talk about that Harrison Reed,
Oh,
Reed goal?
what a goal. Oh my God. And just to see the fact that they thought they had it. Oh,
I think
Inject
if if that goal
I'm
went,
low-key
it
happy,
went
though.
if right.
oh, the message I got off my mate.
You know
the
what?
message I got off
that
my mate.
goal.
You know what?
Telling
I'm
me he
happy
doesn't
though?
like football anymore. Oh, inject that Scouse pain.
Yeah,
Oh,
we love
my
that.
God.
But I think
Oh.
if you guys like if you were against Fulham and you conceded a last minute equaliser like that, that's the one of the only goals where you go fair play.
Yeah, it
Do you know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like so fair play.
It's one
Unbelievable.
of them ones where it drops to a player, he takes a couple
What a
touches,
game.
and then he absolutely levers it into
It's
the,
the
top
technique
corner.
as well, how it swerved away, hit that like
Harry
right
Wilson
in the
bagging
corner.
again, by the way.
Beautiful.
Harry Wilson getting another.
Unbelievable.
That goal
He's
from
on
Harry
fire,
Wilson was
mate.
actually really nice.
The
And
scoring
then-
after taking him up the FPL team.
But
Fantastic.
controversially though, given onside when it was
I'll
a
take
bit of
it.
one of them 50-50 ones where
Yeah.
it was like if it was another day it wouldn't be given. And
Liverpool.
then he
I'll
had
take
and then he had a beautiful cross
Because
from
because
a
their pain,
sexy man called Frimpong.
the pain at the end was worth it. So it's fine.
No, but what I'm going to say is a beautiful man called Frimpong whipped in a beautiful cross to a certain mid player called Cody Gakpo and he put it in. But anyway, we'll move on to that a little bit later. But yeah, that Harrison Reed goal was probably contender for the goal of the season. We'll see how the rest of the
100%.
season goes.
I can't see one topping it.
If we don't
can't
see
a
another
goal topping that.
if we don't see another 25, 30 yard
minutes and
strike going into the
screamer.
top corner, we probably won't see another goal this season. But anyway,
Stop it.
a tactical chess smash
Here we go, baby.
happened in Manchester as at the Etihad.
Eddie's
ended.
very happy about this.
I'm happy.
A
boy.
certain what did happen? What happened, James? It ended as a.
Draw.
You're an absolute
What were you
knob,
going to say?
Well, considering that it was a stalemate, I thought he was going to say stalemate, but he said
I mean,
he
I was
went,
looking that way when you grabbed me.
draw. Anyway,
Draw.
Tajani Reinders put City ahead just at the end of the first half with a moment of
I hate
absolute
him.
individual brilliance. It
I
was
hate him.
a great
I took
moment.
him out, and all he's done since
No,
is
let's not get into that.
I hate
Let's
him.
not get into that.
I can't stand him.
Because you're going to get angry.
Can't stand him.
Anyway, but a certain Argentinian knob said nah.
Beautiful man.
As
You know what? I'm gonna sort out one of my rivals. I'm
Yep.
gonna help him out.
Enzo Fernandez is not that good, but he decided to score the equalising goal for Chelsea
Felt like a
in
winner
the
to me.
90+4. It looked like City were going to hold on for a win, but they missed a lot of chances as Cherky, Foden, whoever was setting up Haaland decided, nah, I'm not going to pass to him today.
Dropping points.
Haaland was in open positions about 5 or
You'd
6
love to
times
see
and
it.
no one gave it to him. But
Part of me loves to see it 'cause it's but
do you know what?
part of me is like, I
James,
look at you.
You look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
I see the enjoyment, and it gives me this fire inside me.
you can see it as this as well.
20 years, mate. I've been waiting for this.
I won't say hatred. It's not hatred.
No, I don't want Arsenal to win.
I won't
would
say
actually-
envy 'cause it's not envy. I would say,
Disgust.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Tajani Reinders was clearly the best player on the pitch.
Of course he was.
And he controlled it until he came off. And then when he came off, that's when Chelsea decided that they were going to turn it on, which is surprising. And you know what? I think that's how the weekend wrapped
If
up. isn't
Haaland
it?
ain't on it,
I mean, it could
That's
have
how
gone either way.
the
but
weekend
City didn't do it.
wrapped
I thought Chelsea were
up.
going to win this game because Maresca leaving.
I
I bet you
thought,
guys did, yeah.
whereas I thought I
Oh,
actually had the other
No, I did.
direction.
I thought Chelsea were going to win it. I did.
I did. I love how you're saying I thought you did.
I
when
think
you
that's why
also
the
had
fight. I think.
Haaland captained an FPL, so don't even come at me with.
I think this is why the
Why
fight.
would you not?
I would have captained Thiago if I were you. Anyway,
Anyway, moving on to FPL.
FPL. Yeah, let's kick it off.
I don't want to, but I will start
James-
with my
James's team. How about we talk about last week first?
Last week, 46 points. I believe I got the best points out of the three of us.
Yeah, but why was that?
I got a bench boost because I had one left over.
He had a bench boost left. so
I
he
got
the
about
best
11
points.
points, I believe. If I used it a week before, I would have got 11 points. So
About the same.
Not too bad. Joe.
it is what it is. It keeps me going. But this week, 42 points. Raya, he has been a bane in my side since I brought him in. I brought in Pope, did nothing. Brought in Raya, did nothing since he's come in. And then I've got, I don't know why I played Gaya. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't. And then I brought in Dargu because everyone fell for the trap of Dargu. Everyone did.
We all did, mate.
I got Timber.
Some people did.
Again,
Some people
1
benched him.
point. I didn't want to take a hit for Gabriel. What a shame.
Sorry.
Gabardio getting unlucky again.
Yeah, that was unlucky.
Currently flagged like crazy. Out of the game.
I'd agree that was
not
unlucky.
in next week.
It's like watching Jekyll and Hyde. He's saying one thing and you're just
saying the
opposite.
I'd agree that was
Rodgers,
unlucky.
Rodgers, I brought in
Good
for
boy.
Verts. If I'd have let that roll, I'd have had an extra 5 points, I believe. And I'd have had 2 transfers this week. And I'd probably have a really strong team this week. Gravenberch.
Your boy.
I won't say that.
You've
I
had him in your
I
team
can't even
so
see, I
long.
can't even see what he says. No, I'm not long.
He got 3 points.
Foden,
2. Got 2.
blanks again.
What's Foden doing, mate?
Blanks again. Useless. He has had his little run of farm like he always does, and he's gonna blank again. Anderson, consistent 4 points like always. I'll take it.
Defcon.
4, 5 points, always guaranteed. Thiago, which was unbelievable. I was buzzing until I realised Ekatike wasn't playing, and Ed was getting him back in his team because of that.
Who?
Yeah.
No, what? Who?
You benched Thiago. The only reason he's in your team is because you
Ekitike
Ekitike didn't play.
Mate,
I was
got very lucky.
I was buzzing, right? I was fuming when I realised. I captained Haaland because why wouldn't you? I'm scared to take it off him now. 42 points. Frustrating. Played a week. Thiago, of course. Flop. I mean, there's so many.
You've got so many to choose from, mate. You've got 1 point
So
that's all
many
over
to
the board.
choose from. I'm gonna give it Haaland because he gave me nothing.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It is what it is. I will bounce back. I am a warrior. I fight. I will still win this league.
That gave you know,
Sorry,
you know the MLS
where will you win from?
I will rise from third all the way to the top. Yep.
Anyway, so we move on to the next team.
And we'll move on to Ed, I believe.
Ed.
Right. Last week,
Currently
39,
leader.
very poor, very poor. But the week just gone, 57 on an average of 42. It's not too bad, but obviously there is someone later on that will shine above, which is fair play. But decent week. Raya kind of blanked. Same with Timber.
Again.
Yeah, Raya's doing my head in, mate. But Gabriel with a goal. Obviously, I was clever enough to bring him in, knowing that he'll be back and knowing what he will contribute.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the hit.
The rest of the back line, I don't even want to get started on. They're just all flopped. Front line, Cherky with some DEFCON points, which is surprising, but I won't complain. I rate it, Cherky. Rogers, how many points did he get?
5.
5. Not bad. Assist, right?
Got an assist, yeah.
Not bad. Foden blanking again. Mate, what's going on? Like, the form was so good.
Let's talk about a certain man.
Now I'm going to talk about a beautiful man that plays for a very...
an unbelievable
an
club.
awful football club.
An unbelievable club who's going to chase Champions League football this year.
That is named Bruno G. Got me double digits again. Thank you very much, Bruno.
Also,
I was very close to taking him out of my team.
The only reason I've not brought him in is because these two have him. And I want to try and fight that. And he is really hurting me every game week.
I like a differential, mate. Thiago, I got very lucky. Obviously, he was on my bench as the first player on my bench. And then Ekitike missed the game. So I got all them beautiful 17 points, which was gorgeous. And then Haaland with a big flop of only 4, taking me to 57, still at the top.
Just about.
Joe, you can get into.
Well, should we
Last week you had a howler.
The week before,
Yeah,
I
39 as
did.
a howler.
But what's annoying is I looked at my team that week and went, "Yeah, I'm getting points here," and then flopped that badly,
And that's
which
what's
is very
going to happen next week.
Below average.
Yeah, maybe.
Below average.
We'll see.
Anyway, should we move on to the fact that a certain man...
Can I just stop you?
Yeah, of course you can.
Possible title charge
Oh,
coming up.
we all like that statement, don't we? As
Big week, big win. I can see this team going to the very top.
As we see an Arsenal fan, they love a title charge, don't they?
They love a bottle.
They also love a bottle, but there's not going to be one this week. As last week I was 43, James overtook me that week, and you know what? The bench boost came in good for you, but it didn't matter this week because a certain man saw a vision for the future of absolute quality at the top of the league, and there was someone called
A vision for top.
Exactly. You get this, James.
I get it. I see it.
You get it. You see the vision.
I see the top.
And look what happened was, Donnarumma, very unlucky in the last minute of the Chelsea game. Got myself 2 points. Better than Raya, so I'm not too upset about that. There is a certain man in a black and white striped top who is a gorgeous man who should be loved by many. And that is Malik Chow.
Finally.
With 17 points. What a man.
You want to say it any louder, mate?
Finally give you something.
I can if you want.
Carry on.
But he has been giving me consistent 4 6s, nothing special. But I said to everyone, he is a set piece threat. And guess where he got his goal? A set piece. I took the hit to take Timber out for Gabriel, and it paid off with a 9-pointer. Yep. Absolutely beautiful. And then, you know what? I was thinking.
I was livid about it.
I've started Frimpong, and I've gone.
I was fuming.
He was on the bench.
I don't know if he'll start.
I
went, I don't know if he'll start. I was very anxious about him. I went, if he doesn't start, then Dorgu's going to have to play with 1 point, and I don't want that.
No, you didn't, did you, mate?
But But Frimpong came on and he assisted Gakpo where he thought they'd won it, but they hadn't. But I got myself a lovely 4 points from Frimpong. And then you've got the midfield of dreams other than a certain Manchester City player. Bruno G, 10 points. Robbed of 2 points, by the way. He was meant to get 12. He got a defensive contribution taken off of him. What is that about? He had 12. Give it to him. Cunha. Some people saw it. A certain United fan didn't even see it.
This is
I
why
thought
we
I
can't
saw it.
let
That's my
him
fault.
win.
No,
This
you
is
didn't-
why we
no,
can't
no,
let him win the
you
league
didn't,
because of
you
this.
didn't see
One
it. It's
game week.
okay. But Cunha, 9
I'll
points.
take him over you.
Morgan Rogers, 5 points. I will say, I took a -4 to get Morgan Rogers in for Declan Rice, and Declan Rice started and got 17 points.
So whatever this team looks like,
Realistically, I could have got 92 points this week, which probably would have
I
been
call a blunder.
92 points, which probably would have been
Shocking.
the
Really?
best team for anyone who didn't play a captain on Rice or whatever.
Yeah.
I still see potential.
But
Title
anyway,
charge.
look, we move on because I still won the week, and we had Haaland captained, didn't blanked, pissed off about that, and then we had Votamada came on for about 20 minutes, could have had a chance to score, didn't, and then we had a beautiful man called Igor Thiago, who I said I'm going to keep him one more week,
You did say one more.
and I
week,
kept
yeah.
him one more week, and he came with a hat trick, 17 points, finishing me off with 80 points. The only blunder is having Harry Wilson on the bench
Doing
instead
what?
of Phil Foden or Haaland or whoever you wanted to bring on. And guess what?
What?
80 points.
Guess what? That's
But my flop of the week,
That's how the league.
my
looks.
flop,
Go on, who's your player of the
You
week?
were
for the
waffling,
week,
sorry,
Joe?
mate,
You-
carry
my
on.
player of the week was 100% definitely Malik Chow,
Yeah.
one of the best centre backs in the league.
And who was your flop?
And then my flop of the week was
Haaland.
Haaland.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
down below we're going to drop what the league looks like currently.
And the league
Current
looks
scores.
like currently as Ed is still in the lead by 17 points. 18? 17? 17 points from Away the Gaffers, Newcastle United representative Joe Lowden.
Shocking name.
And then you've got Gaffers United, sitting on about,
1,000.
what, 47 points off the top.
I'm doing alright.
You're not doing too bad.
It's actually quite close when you look at it.
I like
If we
how
look at
competitive
it,
it is.
there's 50 points.
Only
between
takes
us
2
all.
game weeks, and I will be top. Thank you. Anyway,
You're
See how
lying
that
to
goes,
yourself.
but
You're lying to
anyway-
yourself.
I think it's that time of the video or
Take
that time of the
us
podcast.
away.
certainly will. Thank you for watching. Check out. What? Check us out
Hey.
on all our socials.
Oh!
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify at the Three Gaffers. See you next week. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a video.
Yeah, miss it.
There we go. I'm a little rust there. Thank you everyone. And it's been amazing.
Rúben
We didn't bring the glory
Days
days
again. You won't hear from the Stratford end. The
Your
teams
club
are
is going
falling
down.
down. You should be happy.
That man
for-
has got 20 million to walk away. What a man.
See you next week, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.